Hello, and welcome to another episode of PlastiK AddiKts, where we talk nothing but toys, comics, pop culture, and movies. I'm Ryan, and this is my good friend, king of terrible jokes, and co-host, Kevin.
Ryan, I gotta say, it's awesome to return for another episode. I just think this return is lacking something. I think this return needs to be a little darker.
It's Batman Returns, isn't it?
Not just Batman Returns, but a 1992 Series 1 Batman Returns Bruce Wayne with quick change armor released by Kenner. After the success of the 1989 Batman, Tim Burton was called upon to direct its sequel, Batman Returns. However, showing little interest in directing a second movie, Burton was coaxed in by having more creative freedom in the script and overall film. What the world got was arguably the darkest Batman film in the history of the character, and yes, that's including the Killing Joke. With Michael Keaton returning to the title role of Batman, he is joined by Danny DeVito as the Penguin, Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman, and an original character, Max Schreck, played by Christopher Walken.
There is a biblical plot in this film.
Right now, my troops are fanning out across town for your children. Yes, for your firstborn sons, the ones you left defenseless at home.
Penguin? I mean, killing sleeping children. Isn't that a little,
That's mass child murder in a Batman movie.
Despite the dark subject matter, this is one of the most underrated films of the entire franchise, and today we're going to give you our top 8 things you may not have known about Batman Returns.
Number 8. The prosthetics for the Penguin's makeup were designed by the legendary Stan Winston. The 4-time Oscar winner was fresh off Terminator 2: Judgment Day, and was in development for Jurassic Park at the time of Batman Returns. A little known fact, however, is that he also worked on another Batman film, or should we say, Man-Bat. In 1974, Stan Winston headed the special effects for The Bat People, a schlockfest that was inspired by the Batman comic books.
Number 7. A big takeaway most people have from this film is the look of Catwoman. According to Michelle Pfeiffer, the costume was sealed so tightly she would often pass out while wearing it and could only film for a few minutes before it became too unbearable.
Number 6. Robin was originally going to make his debut in this film. Marlon Wayans was cast to take up the mantle of Dick Grayson. However, the idea was ultimately scrapped due to Burton's disinterest in having the character in the movie.
We wanted to work in maybe a Robin character. I could tell he was not enthusiastic about it from the get-go.
Kenner released a Robin figure in the Series 1 toy line. This actually sparked controversy, as the figure was originally going to be African American, but was switched to Caucasian when Wayans was dropped from the movie.
Number 5. Speaking of the toy line, Kenner couldn't get the likeness rights to Danny DeVito, so they recycled and repainted a penguin mold from a line released in the late 70s. This figure was modeled after the comic book depiction of the penguin at the time. Also, McDonald's was originally going to have a Happy Meal toy tie-in with the movie, however the dark subject matter forced them to back out. Despite leaving, McDonald's still released a limited number of Happy Meal toys and these collector's cups. Number 4.
On its opening weekend, Batman Returns made over $45 million at the box office.
We're at the historic Chinese Theater on Hollywood Boulevard for what promises to be the biggest movie premiere of the year.
Up until that time, it was the highest opening weekend in cinema history.
Number 3. The musical scores of composer Danny Elfman have practically become staples of Tim Burton movies. These films include Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Sleepy Hollow, and Beetlejuice. Batman Returns is no exception. As a matter of fact, it's rumored that the musician makes a cameo appearance as a protester throwing vegetables at the Penguin during his botched speech.
Why is there always someone who brings eggs and tomatoes to a speech?
Number 2. Originally, Max was written as the Penguin's older brother, which gives levity to the Penguin's phrase,
We're both perceived as monsters.
Max Schreck was named after the actor who played Count Orlok in Nosferatu.
Number 1. Originally, this film was going to be the theatrical debut of Mr. Freeze. An early version of the script saw Freeze teaming up with a penguin to create a winter-like environment necessary for Antarctic penguins to live in. This idea was later swapped with the story taking place during December, and has become a Christmas tradition. At least in my house. And there you have it, 8 facts you may not have known about Batman Returns.
If you're interested in listening to a more in-depth review of the film, click the link below to our other videos. Also, please like and subscribe.
Well, anyway, I'm Kevin.
I'm Ryan.
We'll see you next time.
We will.